Hi, my name is Davene, and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 11, 7, and 4. And we've been homeschooling. This will be our 6th year of homeschooling. So today I am working with a collaboration with other homeschool moms. It's hosted by Davene at Calm in the Chaos and Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool. And they're hosting this collab about the items the curriculum that we would not buy again. And so there is a playlist linked below, and you can check out other homeschool moms that have given some things of what they didn't like or what they won't purchase again. And I'd love to hear what you wouldn't purchase again. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the curriculum that I would never buy again. Now, I hesitate to say never because who knows? And I also suffer from one that I feel like the fear of missing out of curriculum. And so we have a lot that we have tried, and I don't think we'll go back to a lot of these. And so that is what I'm basing this off of. Of course, it could be different from child to child. But usually I can kind of, by now after we've finished 5 years, so I think I can kind of figure out a little bit better of what fits our family and our style of homeschooling. So I'm going to post some pictures, but there is nothing wrong with any of these companies, but these were things that just didn't work out for us, but they might work out for you guys. So maybe I'm going to introduce something that you're like, oh, maybe I should look into this. So just because it isn't the style of learning for my child, or they were maybe burnt out. So there's a lot of different reasons why we've switched from these and why we probably won't go back to them. So the first one would be, there was a time in our homeschooling journey toward the beginning that we had a lot of life circumstances happen to us. I broke my ankle, I had a newborn, she was only a couple months old when I broke my ankle, my dad got cancer, and then he later passed away within that year. So we had a lot of life happen to us, and so we needed more of a gentle approach to homeschooling. That's when we were really started with master books and loved it for about a year during our time when we were grieving and just had a lot of life happen to us then. But we have moved on from that. We no longer use most of master books. I'm not saying I won't go back maybe to their science, but I don't think we will be going back to especially math and language arts. They were gentle and I love that approach, but they just didn't really benefit, especially my oldest, who kind of had some struggles at first with some math concepts. So when we switched to the Good and the Beautiful, that helped her a lot with gaining the confidence. She didn't have confidence using the master books math living education. But I know many use that and love it, but it was just not the right fit for our family. And the same with language arts. We did love parts of the language arts, but there were parts that we were kind of skipping over, and so for us it just wasn't beneficial for us to continue buying it when she wasn't using the whole program. For my oldest, we have switched also from the Good and the Beautiful language arts. I don't see us in the future moving back to the Good and the Beautiful language arts, but who knows? I can't say never, but one other program that we used this past year for a few months, or we tried it for a while, was Not Grass 50 States. And so many people love that one in particular. But for us, I don't know what it was, but it was just really hard for us to get through the lessons with reading a lot. We did use our Star Spangled Story, another one of theirs, the American History, and my oldest especially loved it. So it's hard to say like why the 50 States didn't work, and then our Star Spangled Story did, but it just wasn't a fit for us, and so we ended up getting rid of our 50 States from Knotgrass, and I don't see us going back to that one, partly because we sold it. But I'm not saying that we won't use Knotgrass in the future, and I'm holding on to our Star Spangled Story to use it for my younger girls again, but I'm not sure if we're gonna go that way or if I'll just do just books, because I feel a lot more confident in my ability to just pick out some great books and go through history that way than I did a few years ago when we were using our Star Spangled Story. I felt like I needed curriculum and we had to get through all these things. So we might be changing that. I don't know. And then another one that we used this past year, we tried it out, was Pandia Press Chemistry. And we also picked up Pandia Press, well, it was Real Science Chemistry, that's what it is. So we also used Pandia Press's History Quest this year, and we loved History Quest, especially for my oldest. My younger ones they don't love history, so they didn't really love it, and it was a little bit over their head. But the chemistry, we kept it on my iPad, and then I would print the consumables when we needed to, but it just didn't really flow, and I'm not confident in my ability to teach chemistry, but I just didn't feel like I was able to give them answers with what we had. And so I don't know if we were just, maybe it was the lack of confidence with like not having a printed out book. I don't know what it was exactly, but I didn't really feel like I was teaching them what the lessons were actually about. So we have moved on from that, and I don't see us going back to any of the those Real Science books. We have a few other things that we're trying out this year. Another one, this is greatly loved by many. I have just learned a lot that I am not great at unit studies. I don't think that that is our way of learning. I try, but even this summer we have tried doing some ocean studies, and sometimes I just don't want to pick it up. And I don't know, I think I just get bored with having the same topic over and over for a month or two. We did try Gather Round's birds unit it was a couple of years ago. It was when they first came out. I think it was in that first year. I realized that now they have changed a lot of their, the way they do the units, but also it was a lot of reading for us for the ages of my kids, but also we already had our other subjects covered. And so maybe for science and history, we would need those, or geography, but it wasn't one that we really needed anything else to cover those. And I didn't want to give up their actual curriculum. And so it was just way too much to add in. And it got kind of monotonous every day to read about a new bird. But I mean, maybe the new units are great, but I just do not see us spending the money to go back to Gather Round. We have used a couple campfire curriculum units, and they are also unit study, but they make it kind of a little bit more optional to not use all the, they have a core curriculum page. And so I was able to get that in with my youngest daughters with, we did vet unit this last year. So we might use campfire curriculum a little bit. I did win a couple of free units, so we will use those up, but I don't know if I will be spending the money to get units again. And that's just kind of, we just aren't unit study people. So another one, this kind of breaks my heart, but at least for my middle, who was using these, my oldest didn't ever use these really. We will not be going back to Explode the Code in the foreseeable future. Makes me sad, but she, I think, was just burnt out with it, and that can happen. And so she was doing a page or so every day, and she requested this year if she could not use it again. So we have switched gears this year, and we are going to be we're using word ladders and then a spelling curriculum, which she didn't have last year. So I think that those will be good fits for her, but makes me sad that we're not going to be using that anymore. Another loved curriculum, but not a good fit for us, is Spelling You See. I don't know what it was. I think my oldest was using this and she just it was monotonous to do the coloring, and she was frustrated if she couldn't find them all. And then the copy work was just a lot of extra, and it just wasn't a good fit with Spelling You See. Once again, I hate to say never, because who knows, we might be back, but we gave up handwriting from The Good and the Beautiful. My oldest was just, I think, burnout again. She used several levels of these, and so this is 5, and I don't think she finished this last year. So we have switched her off from this to do something different this year. And then my middle was also, it was just monotonous for her, so we have switched her to a reason for handwriting. So she loves, there's little like coloring pages that you can write the Bible verse on at the end of the book after each lesson, and she has really enjoyed that. So I don't see us going back to The Good and the Beautiful handwriting. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna try Learning Without Tears for my youngest, just to do something different. I don't have any reason, but that is what we are switching to. Another one, these are so beautiful, and this is Homeschool Languages, and this is French. I don't see us continuing on with this. It was just a lot, maybe for me, because I wasn't, again, confident in my French speaking abilities, but I don't see us using this French again, or another language from their company, but who knows down the line. But my kids did love learning the language. They just, it wasn't a good fit for us. And so great company though. So if you are interested in French or Spanish, I think they have Portuguese, German, they have several different options. So you could check them out, and it might be a great fit for you. I know a lot of people that use The Good and the Beautiful love that company, but it was just not great for us. Another one we tried out a few years ago was from Queen Homeschooling. This was Farmyard and Dooryard Friends, and I thought my animal loving friend, or my animal loving daughter, would love this, but it just wasn't great. It was just some stories, and I would read, and it was kind of a little bit boring to us, and so we only got a few pages in, and so we would not purchase this again, this style. I don't feel Queen Homeschooling is a great company, but I don't feel like that is a good fit for us. Another thing are some of these workbooks, especially for my oldest. So my oldest, I got these a few years ago for her. She is not one that when she's bored will pick up a workbook and do just an activity, and it's taken me a few years to learn that, but I have finally learned that, and I don't just go and get her extra workbooks just for fun. So I think my younger two would actually do those things, but my oldest, that's just not her personality. She would, when she's done, she's done. So also for my oldest, so this is I would never buy this again for my oldest, because I mean, maybe my younger two, but the Skill Sharpeners Geography for my oldest, for us, it was kind of like, I liked the things that they had, the stories that they had for like geography. They have little stories, and then you answer questions. They have some pictures, and I think it's beautiful, and like the stories were good, but like the questions were kind of just awkward to answer, and so I don't see us going back to a geography like this for her. Probably not for my other two either. When I want to do geography, I will probably do maps and maybe watch YouTube videos about different things. I don't know. I don't see us using those. Another thing, I have a lot of these. I have a lot of the fun schooling. I have the dyslexic games, and I have a lot of the journals, and I love these, and we have a lot that we could use, but I just don't see us, this is not our style of homeschooling, but they are beautiful books, and I love, there's like pictures and different things. We're just not ones that will just pick up a journal and do our own figuring things out. This is great for a lot of people, but it is just not our style. So I do not see us going back or going to these. We might use them here and there as add-ons, but not for our full curriculum. So that is my list of things that we would never use, or I don't see us using in our foreseeable future. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to check out Davene at Calm in the Chaos and Shauna at Homegrown Homeschool, and then all the other moms that have posted what they wouldn't like. There's a playlist down below. Don't forget to check that out. Have a great day.